right before you see the clip that it's the start of the video, I'm pretty much coming to you beforehand. So I quickly want to talk about how important Sunday service, going to church. I, for the longest time, did not go to church. I obviously grew up going to church, but I never really found myself. It felt like it was something I was forced to do by my parents, if that makes sense. And not like in a bad, negative, like force, like that way. More just like, you're coming with us. Now that I'm older and I'm having this relationship with God, obviously I'm doing everything that I can to learn more about Him, to be more closer to Him. And one of the best things to do is simply go to Sunday church. I personally don't go in person. So I first started watching Elevation Church, their service online. However, I could not connect with the pastor, and to the point that I was feeling kind of shameful, kind of guilty, because I was just like, why? Like, is it wrong that I want to switch churches? Then I talked to my friend and she was just like, no, it makes a lot of sense. Like, you need to find what fits you. So then I remember that I went to this church a long time ago, pre-COVID, and I really liked the services there. So then I searched it up, and they do online services, which is amazing. Well, they just stream their services online. You have no excuse. You can literally watch it from the own comfort of your home, which is what I do. I plan eventually to start going in person, even if it's not like every single Sunday to like in person. I at least want to go a couple times and then eventually build myself where I could go. Search up Sunday services that you can watch online if you are barely starting your path at building a relationship with God. If not, go in person. Just see which one fits you the best, which one you feel comfortable. And when I tell you that you go in there, you walk in and you'll feel so amazing, and it's the best thing ever. Because now that I'm at where I am, I found myself taking in the word, and sometimes it automatically applies to my life, where I'm just like, wow, like this is amazing. Like, this is how I need to change, how to open up, how to surrender, things like that. Now, an extra step I'm doing and want to do hopefully by summer is that my current church they have like groups, I don't necessarily know how to call them, where they meet. And I want to join that. Like, I want to have Christian friends. I want to have godly relationships, friendships around me, surrounding me. And I think what better way than actually putting yourself out there and going to the people that already are attending the same church you do, and be surrounded by more people like this. And a quick thing is, I recently had like a little talk with God. I've been having a lot of talks with God where He's been talking to me as well. But this one time I told Him, test my heart. Like, I'm trying to get close to you. Like, test me. Because I knew I was going to be pushed out into the world. I was going to be in a setting where like there was all types of worldly things. If you know, you know. So He tested me. And I remember like I did a great job, because I ended up actually talking to mostly every single person I interacted with that day about God. And God was just so present that day. Point is, there's something like that happened, like a tiny incident, nothing negative, nothing positive necessarily. It was just kind of random. And I told my friend, I was like, I feel like this is kind of sinful, is it? And I just told my friend, like, I don't know what God was necessarily trying to say. And she pretty much just said, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And then it hit me. But just having that conversation with my friend where we could literally talk back and forward, where she elaborated, and it helped me see what God was trying to say, is the best thing. So yes, I am joining groups. Church is about to start. I think I'm going to watch it here, but then also put it on the TV. One of the things I like to do, this is usually when I'm getting ready, but today is Sunday, it's Easter, it's the day God has resurrected. I'm gonna currently just put Girls Gone Bible, because they posted an episode on Friday for the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus. So I'm gonna watch that as I eat breakfast, and that's one way I could always incorporate God. And usually, as I mentioned, I an episode when I'm getting ready, makeup wise, all that stuff. I'm finishing Girls Gone Bible, the episode barely right now. It's 9 o'clock. So anytime that I have free time, I try to incorporate God into my life. And throughout the day, I just constantly, and I think this gets easier as you get closer to God, but when you're closer to God, you'll automatically start thinking about Him morning, throughout your day, afternoon, evening, and night, and you'll suddenly start talking to Him at all times. And I generally think it's just once you start building that relationship with Him. So I'm currently watching The Chosen. I started it yesterday and I'm obsessed. The first time that Jesus came out, and the first thing He said, "That's not for you." And then when He was just like, "You're mine," I was not bawling, but I was so emotional. It's just like I get so excited at the thought of Jesus coming back, and in general just meeting Him. So seeing this show and seeing in a way how it's portraying a lot of things, obviously from the Bible, because I'm reading the Bible, is even more amazing. I definitely recommend. It's on Prime. Good morning. So it's a new day and we're gonna go through my somewhat routine. Not really. I do have a morning and a night routine on my channel, so you guys can watch that and see how I actually go by my day. But every morning, Monday through Friday, I read my Bible in the morning. I've explained this, I think, in both my morning and night routine, or maybe just my night routine. I can't remember right now. But since this video is specifically dedicated to just how to be more godly, how to be more like Jesus, how to incorporate Jesus into your life at all points in time. So I like to start my morning with God. I always pray. I think, as I said this kind of last night, since I've gotten closer to God, it's an automatic thing for me to wake up in the morning and be like, "Thank you, Jesus," do a quick prayer. I usually walk my dog in the morning, and during that time, it's like I'm walking with God. It's like I'm having a godly walk. Quickly talk about what exactly I do, because I know it's very important. When I first started this journey of just building a relationship with God, it didn't come out of, "Oh, people are telling me to do this." It came very naturally, where I just surrendered my life to God, and I really wanted to just live by Him and get to know Him more. And I didn't really know how to do that other than start with the Bible. And I know it sounds intimidating because it's a huge thing, and it's like, where do I even start? My Bible is from Crossway. I bought it on Amazon. It's just like this nude color, but it's Crossway single column journaling Bible. Bible is an ESV version. Apps I just bought from Amazon as well. Looked up on TikTok like Bibles, and people were recommending either this one or She Reads Truth Bible. I annotated it, and it's kind of not that pretty up here. I split up the books. I have a specific way I read the Bible. I found it once again on TikTok, because I was honestly, I think I tried reading the Bible when I was 20, and I started from Genesis, and I was understanding it, but I just never kept up with it because it felt like I don't know what I'm doing. So then I searched up how to read the Bible, and I found the perfect one, so I'll just put it here on the screen. Let's talk about my notebooks. My notebooks came in a set of 3. And these I bought from Marshall's a long time ago. So I don't even know if they sell like the same thing, but I'm pretty sure you can find regular notebooks. But as you can see, one says love, one says hope, and one says faith. My faith one has how I read the Bible. So you can kind of see this. And then as I continue going on throughout the pages, it's when I first started reading the Bible, where it was things I couldn't understand, that I was like, wait, what does this exactly mean, this verse? I would search it up on my computer, my iPad, my phone, whatever I had in front of me. And I use a specific website, I think it's called Bible Ref, and usually like I'll write the verse and then I'll write my understanding after I do my research. I haven't used this in a while. My Hope notebook is all my verses that I want to learn, verses that I want to specifically memorize. But I have like in my actual room two walls, like my back door and one of my walls, where I put sticky pads and I put my favorite verses because I love them. And then we have my love notebook. This one has verses dedicated to my children, and or I should say future children, and my future husband. It's just things I've read in the Bible that God specifically talks about kids, talks about marriage, talks about how you should love one another. I have pens. Currently in book 2 of King. I have read pretty much 50% of the Bible at this point. So I usually read for an hour. Okay, one, I always like praying before I read the Bible. Also, I just remembered, I always review the book I read previously on Friday and start writing the Bible verses I learned from that book. I'm about to make breakfast, and now I want to talk about music and worshiping God, praising God, and staying away from secular music, which is something I still struggle with. I feel like it's really easy to tell who is definitely doing demonic music and who you should not follow. It's very clear to me on which artists do that. But then there's certain artists I like that I don't necessarily feel like it's like their music sounds pretty normal. It's just more some people might be like, oh yes, this person also is this way. So I still struggle, I guess, with trying to find that out and figure out for my own, if that makes sense, without the judgment of other people, because every other person's opinion is going to be different. I'm going to take out what I need. During the times when I'm either working out, it honestly depends. Even when I'm walking my dog, my husky, in the morning, I like to put on sometimes worship music. I have a whole playlist, but it's really outdated. Like, I haven't added to it since probably pre-pandemic. So I need because I've heard a lot of new great songs ever since I started going to Sunday service. I try to listen to it, but then I saw someone say specifically, do you just listen to worship music just because of how it sounds, like that you like the sound, or do you do it to praise God? And that kind of hit me, not in a harsh way, because I feel like for the most part I do listen to it because I like it, but I find myself praising God as I sing it, if that makes sense. It's not like I just do it to fit in with the crowd. Like, I genuinely do it, and it kind of happens both ways. Like, I'm listening to it because I really like the music, but I'm also praising as I'm singing. So that's another way to incorporate just Jesus into your life. People listen to it on their way to work. This goes with the podcast. Like, I'm personally a visual learner. Like, I need to see. That's just another way to incorporate God. That don't know necessarily where to start. Where can I start? How do I search worship music? One, you could easily just go on YouTube, on Spotify, and just search up worship music, and most likely a lot of songs will pop up. My favorite of all time is the one I was just listening to, which I just discovered by my church, called Trust in God, and that is by Elevation Worship. I love Oceans. That might be one of my favorite songs. Do It Again is amazing as well. I would just say search up what you can and then start from there. By usually Friday, I'm done with the book I'm currently reading. Obviously, there's certain books that are only like 3-4 pages. So those, then I'll just automatically move on into the next one and I review it immediately. But when it comes to things like this, a bigger book, usually I finish it within the week. So it's actually Thursday, so I finished it the day before. So what I'm gonna do today, I have my Hope notebook here, which has all my Bible verses, and there's a couple of them that I really want to remember, that there's some that I know, I think I said this, and I know them, but I don't know the book or the chapter or the verse, and that's something I really want to do for myself. Simply for the fact that I want to be able to just, in a way, spit out facts. If that makes sense. There's times where I had conversations with my friends and I'm just like, oh, like Jesus said this. Like, this is said in the gospel. And I want to say it and I'm like, ooh. And then all I end up saying is just like, it's in the Bible. But pretty much this is what it says. And it's like, I can remember like what the topic was, what the ideal gist of it was, but I don't remember the Bible verse. I want to learn the Bible verses. So for today and tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, I'm gonna wake up same time, and instead of doing my Bible study because I finished it and I reviewed it already, I'm gonna just simply learn my Bible verses. I'm not gonna learn every single verse in here because this notebook is pretty much done. I have maybe this amount left, and I definitely recommend you guys to not memorize it, but when you read the Bible, just review it. Make sure you're understanding what you're reading. Here's the thing. I'm almost not done, but I'm halfway, as I mentioned. And I really want to, like, just once I'm done doesn't mean I'm going to stop reading the Bible. I'm going to continue reading it. I don't think I'm going to go back in the same order I did the first time. I think I'm just going to go back to certain books and reread them. And watching The Chosen, I'm seeing so many things that I read in the Bible happen. And automatically I'm like, wait, like I want to go back and reread those parts because I think I would have gotten it more now. So I'm always going to read the Bible as I continue growing up, getting older, just getting closer to God. Like that's the goal. The goal. And I saw something recently on TikTok and I want to share it with you guys because it's really important. So I'm currently in my waiting season. I'm preparing, planning. If you kind of know, you kind of know. But recently I saw a video where they were saying like, yeah, you're planning for this thing, this blessing, this huge blessing God is going to give you. But have you realized that you're supposed to be planning and getting prepared for heaven, for the kingdom of Jesus, of God? And I was like, oh, I've been doing that. Obviously, I'm reading the Bible. I'm trying to just be more on Jesus' path rather than my own path. Like, I don't want to be a part of the world. I want to be a part of God. So with that being said, it really hit me because I'm just like, wow, it puts you in a perspective where you're thinking like, wait, they're right. Like, we need to be preparing because Jesus is coming soon. That's all I'm saying. And you should not be scared about that. I find that there's a lot of videos going all around social media where it could create chaos and fear. I think when I watch those videos, I don't fear. A long time ago, I let go of the fear of death. I'm really excited for it, actually. Not in a negative way, but just in the way that I'm going to be reunited with Jesus and be in God's kingdom. But I guess what I'm trying to say is watching those videos still make me feel unsettled. Just because I know it's going to be like such a huge thing. It's going to be so much destruction. Like all the people that are doing evil are going to perish. Like it's just going to be up to God. And it's going to be a beautiful thing to see. But it's going to be obviously unsettling. Because you're just like, this is my world. This is what I know right now. But I just want you guys to not fear, not feel anything. Either way, I'm getting off topic here. Because I was just pretty much saying I want to read and memorize the Bible verses I have written. And with that being said, obviously prepare yourself. Get yourself ready for the kingdom of God. So yeah, that's all I had to say.